And so as we understand that the reappearance of the Mahdi is the first portent of the day of judgment, it is important for us to recognize the signs of the reappearance of the Imam of the time. What will be taking place at the time of his reappearance? And these particular things serve as indications of his presence, and even deeper, they serve as an indication of the day of judgment. Okay, and the climax of the day of judgment is the hour. And so this is the place where we find ourselves in the midst of the signs. So let's look at the signs of the reappearance of the Imam of the time, Imam Mahdi. Abu Sa'id Khudri has narrated that the Holy Prophet said, "After me, mischiefs will arise, and ikhlas, addiction, is one of them. And in it is war and flight. And after that also mischiefs will arise in such a way, it will be said that another mischief has ended in the same way. It will move forward, and these mischiefs will enter each and every center of the family of all Arabs and Muslims, till a man from my progeny will appear." So we understand that surrounding the reappearance of Imam Mahdi, we will see mischiefs and war and flight and addiction. Abu Sa'id Khudri has also narrated that the Holy Prophet said, "This severity and suffocation will continue on you in such a way that the earth shall be replete with injustice and oppression, and no one would dare say Allah. After that, the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send a man from my progeny who would fill the earth with justice and equity, just as it would have been fraught with injustice. And the earth would discharge its bounties and blessings, and the life of Muslims would become prosperous and comfortable." And so we already see a process taking place in the reappearance of the Imam, because things are constricted when he first appears. And the Ummah is living in the midst of all types of mischief and fear and trouble and danger. It's also been narrated from Imam Muhammad Baqir that he said Mahdi will reappear at the time when fear, mischiefs, calamities, epidemics, violence, divisions in religion, and transformation of people's condition shall be dominant on the world society. All we have to do is ask ourselves, is this the case today? He says, "Day and night people would yearn for death and shall be at each other's throats." In other words, despair and hopelessness would have conquered them. At that time, His Eminence, Imam Mahdi, would reappear. And congratulations to the one who reaches Imam Mahdi and becomes his supporter. And woe to the one who opposes him. So we understand that we are living in a time of great mischief and calamity and epidemics and violence and division in religion, and people's conditions are transforming from bad to worse. And we see suicide rates rising, and we see the misery index rising, and people yearning and wishing for death. And we see everybody at everybody else's throat, competing for the life of this world and for the pleasures of this world. So His Eminence Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam was in a group of his followers speaking about Imam Mahdi, and a man in the gathering asked him, "When would your Qa'im appear?" And the holy Imam, in reply to this question, related the signs of reappearance, saying, "A time when men shall resemble women, when women shall be in saddles, and men shall omit prayers and follow the base desires, and take usury, and consider spilling human blood easy, and deal with usury and openly commit fornication, and construct high rises, and consider lying permissible, and accept bribery, and follow sensual desires, and sell their religion in exchange of material benefits, and disassociate from relatives, and consider forbearance a weakness, and oppression as pride. The rulers shall be sinners, the administrators liars, the trustees misappropriators, and friends and helpers shall be oppressors. Reciters of the Quran shall be sinners, and oppression would be open and divorces common, and sins will be committed openly, and false testimonies would be accepted. Wine would be imbibed, and man shall mount upon man, and women shall be needless of men, and public funds will be considered spoils of war. Alms would be considered a monetary loss, and they would be afraid of the tongue of evil people. This is what will be happening at the time that Imam Mahdi reappears. This is what will be going on the earth. There will be a complete hollowing out of society and a complete hollowing out of morality. Is this not what we see today in our times? And where this is concerned, there's nothing left to be fulfilled except for the hour. Because all of these prophecies have become reality and fact. And they are phenomena that we have experienced and that we know intimately. And so we must prepare ourselves, because we are living in the time whereby all things that were written must be fulfilled. And one sign will fall after another like the beads on a necklace, as we have witnessed and observed these very things with our own eyes in these times. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ya